Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Abe's Finance. Now today we're going to do a bit of an update video. We're going to talk about what's happened at Archegos, the follow through. As well as that, we're going to talk about what's going on with this market melt up. The S&P 500 and most of the equities markets are going bananas. They're going bonkers. And so we're going to look at some of the stocks, some of the calls, some of the predictions that I've made and see where they actually line up, because I've actually said in 2 videos ago I said it was going to crash. I said 1 video ago it was going to go up. We'll see how I actually went with some of my predictions or trades, and so that could be an interesting thing to round off the video. Now with Archegos, let's jump into that. So I've got an article here which has just been saying that Credit Suisse has already lost around $4 billion at least, anything up to $4.7 billion with the Archegos blow up. And not only that, they've also lent money to Greensill Capital, which also blew up this month. So 2 people have been fired, and we're going to go through exactly who they are and their history and whether anyone else could get fired, not just in Credit Suisse, but in other banks. Now, here we go. Credit Suisse senior execs leave after Archegos Greensill losses. All right. Lara Warner, the group's chief risk and compliance officer, and Brian Chin, head of the investment bank, are set to depart according to people with knowledge of the moves. This is pretty much already baked in. Now, I read a really interesting comment from people leaving comments online. Lara Warner, I guess she was a Warner by name, but not so much by nature. Anyway, I thought that was a bit funny. It was a bit of a pun because she didn't do much warning, did she? Now, Credit Suisse stands to lose up to $4 billion in the Aussie dollars. That's 5.2 billion from the collapse of Archegos. So that's not little money, guys. $4 billion. And also Nomura has lost $2 billion. Question is, how big of a line was this Bill Huang guy swinging? He's playing around with billions of dollars just by himself. It's pretty ridiculous when you think about it. How much money in this economy is he controlling? Now, this is just the beginning, guys, of their losses. So, Credit Suisse has calculated its clients could lose up to $3 billion from what it lent to Greensill Capital. So the $4 billion loss from Archegos is just the beginning. I labeled one of my videos earlier as that. Now they're losing $3 billion from Greensill. This bank isn't going anywhere. Well, it's going down, technically speaking, but yeah, it's definitely going nowhere fast, but down. Yes, and with this article also, it's really interesting their histories. Now, Miss Warner, who had previously been Chief Risk Officer, was also given responsibility for compliance. Obviously, I don't think this complied with any of their risk parameters. Now, the other thing is that they also invested in the Chinese coffee house chain, Luckin Coffee, right? This was, I don't know if you guys are familiar with this, but in 2020, I think 2020, yeah. So there was this company that was listed, I think, in the US stock exchanges, Chinese, basically a Starbucks competitor, and they were growing like crazy, at least according to their numbers. And guess what? All the numbers were completely fudged, and when the market sniffed that out, it basically cratered, right? But according to this, they were caught up in this scam too. Credit Suisse, they bought into another one of these scams. I mean, how many scams does Credit Suisse buy into, right? And also German payments company wirecard. I mean, this alone is enough to do one video itself. They've been involved in the last couple of years in 4 scams / blow-ups. It's insane. How do these people get a job in risk management? It just baffles me. I mean, how these are supposed to be some of the smartest people on Wall Street, in society. They are mathematical, financial, Excel geniuses, right? How could this be? And don't they manage millions and millions, billions, no, sorry, trillions of dollars? Don't they have some level of responsibility, right? And also, when they blow up, don't they blow up the whole economy, just like in 2008? So surely, I'm going on a little bit of a rant, but surely you'd think they'd be a little bit more responsible given all the weight on their shoulders, the large amount of cash that they're in charge of, right? And the sheer fact that they should be good at what they do, right? You know, someone working in whatever job, they should be at least good at what they do, right? Let alone managing something that millions, billions of dollars, and that can take down the whole world economy. Anyway, rant over. Now, here we go, another thing. Oh, it was also forced to write down another $450 million in its investment in hedge fund York Capital. Great. I want to start a hedge fund too. And, I'll be happy for Credit Suisse to lend me the money because, I don't think it seems that hard. All I need to tell them is, I just make up some numbers up, I've got these clients and, these are my revenues, done. Seems to, hey, Credit Suisse, can you lend me some money? I'll pay you back. Don't worry. My business is crazy booming. I want to be listed on the stock exchange. It's all good. Please. All right. Finally, now, as you can tell, I'm Australian, but apparently Lara Warner is Australian US citizen. And I'll move on to this. She joined Credit Suisse as an analyst from Lehman Brothers in 2002 and rose to become Chief Finance Officer of the investment bank, that is Credit Suisse, before taking on group-level compliance and risk management roles. Now, I'm kind of curious how much of what she took from Lehman Brothers did she bring into Credit Suisse? Is there some sort of relationship there? Did she take some of the sort of laissez-faire, anything goes culture from Lehman Brothers? That's something I'm really curious about. I think, they're all, you can say all the Wall Street banks are kind of alike. They did basically all take down the US economy in 2008. And then Mr. Chin, you got to give him some attention. He was fired too from the investment bank. And so that's another casualty of what's happened. So who knows what's going to happen, but this is only one bank. What's going to happen with Nomura? What's going to happen? I think someone in Goldman Sachs should probably get a promotion. I know this is controversial, but basically they avoided this scenario. Well, they didn't avoid it in the way that, they shouldn't have lent money to Mr. Bill Huang in the first place. But, when they realized it, they avoided this massive blow up. So, credit, I suppose, to Goldman Sachs. Can't believe I'm saying it. But you know what? Good for them. They did, according to their interests, the right thing. So I thought this was a really interesting article. And, we'll see what happens next in the financial industry. We'll see also if this has further repercussions in the banking industry. Again, they're going to see where else can we blow up. This isn't going away anytime soon. And also, they've just listed, Credit Suisse has listed a lot of their stocks for sale. Not on the stock exchange necessarily, but a whole batch of stocks, including Viacom. So just to let you know who Lara Warner is, this is how she looks like. I don't know if that really adds value to the video, but in case you're curious, looks professional, looks smart, and likewise, Brian Chin looks like they're very professional, but you know what? Looks can be deceiving, right? I don't think you could argue they're very professional. Now, let's talk about some of the trades and predictions I talked about. And we'll start with the Archegos ones. Here in my last video, I've drawn up some of the sort of quote-unquote predictions of how the price action will go. Now, if you can look a bit closely, I said Viacom will go back up. But if you look how the arrows I've drawn, I said it's going to go down a little bit further to this red line, which is a 200 moving average. It's going to squiggle down, and then it's going to rotate a bit. It's going to cycle a bit and find some support, and then it could go up. And I think there's some, this is playing out as I have so far predicted, that it will not be a very speedy recovery, though that's a possibility. But rather it will grind down a bit, and then it'll figure out how to go back up. Now, what we can tell is that Credit Suisse still needs to offload millions and millions of shares from Viacom. So the whole market knows this. All of Wall Street knows this. They don't even need to smell it out. They know that they need to get rid of this junk. So Wall Street's not really going to buy, especially when we hear that they still have, I think, hundreds of millions of Viacom shares. So, Wall Street's going to let it bleed out and let them sell on the cheap. So they're staying away. So in the same vein, I'll definitely say that too. Don't be in a hurry to buy this dip. Don't be in a hurry for it to go back up. I just don't think it's going to go back anytime soon. But don't blame me if you missed out either, guys. I'm just saying. So far, this prediction looks pretty accurate so far. And I've probably the same thing for Discovery, which is another one of their holdings. It's not going to go up anytime soon. And indeed, it's probably going to 33. It's only once you clear this out of the system and they've get it off the books, or they've gone, you know what, we're happy holding these stocks because it's so cheap. So Credit Suisse is going to keep them on the books, right? Because, it's cheap. We're not going to sell on the cheap. Baidu is a huge company, tech company in China. I don't think it's affected by this. I think that, if you can catch a price that is, impacted by this, catch some of the fear, and you like the company, I think you should just go for it. This is a different beast altogether. This is like a Facebook, right? The market cap is so much bigger. It's so much more influenced by what's happening in Asia because it is an Asian stock. It's the Chinese Google. So you're getting Chinese Google at a discount. That's not too bad an idea. So there's another one of my predictions playing out. I think I have voiced this. I do like the Chinese tech companies. And if you look at the last couple of days, the price hasn't actually kept dropping like what you just saw with Viacom. It's kind of already been moving up. So that's a sign that there's a little bit more strength here. Let's look at what's happened, the aftermath to Nomura. So Nomura is starting to hold at around 580. So that's quite interesting. At some level of support, which is around 575. So right now it's between 575 and 600. So that's not bad. Okay. Where is what's going on? Sorry guys, a little bit of tech issues. Let's keep moving on. Okay. Hello? Jeez. This is not good, guys. Be right back. Alright. We're back. I lost my mouse and my keyboard for a moment. I'm so sorry, guys. Back to the video. Alright, let's move on. Credit Suisse. Nothing's really changed in price action. It's still on the low. I think, if anything, getting those executives fired might be positive news for the market. So we are on major support. Lows back in 2018, lows back in 2019, free lows, the highs of August 2020. So we're at the same spot, around $11. I think this could hold, to be honest. And Goldman Sachs, not much difference. Also bear in mind that we've had a very strong market over the Easter weekend with the Biden administration plan. So I was talking about that in the last video. Unfortunately, not many people watched it. Not sure why, because that was that was quite, I thought that was like one of the better videos I've done in terms of the predictions in there and what I saw coming. So if you have a chance, check it out. Yeah, I'll actually cover some of the stocks to wrap up this video from that last video, so to see how my predictions have gone too. Now, my channel is not about making predictions, but since I do it all the time, I might as well just look into it and see if I was any good or not, right? Because otherwise, I suppose in a way, why would you want to listen to me if I'm so totally off? If I'm slightly off, I think that's okay, because it's okay to be slightly off in the market, because it's a game of prediction and probability. You're going to get some right, some wrong, hopefully more right than wrong. Goldman Sachs, we're still playing around near the blue line, which is the 50 moving average. Okay. Okay. Where is my mouse again? There. I keep losing my mouse, guys. I don't know why. Morgan Stanley also at support. Market is strong. So there's not a great play. I mean, take a shot. But Morgan Stanley and Goldman Sachs escaped most of this brunt. JP Morgan also strong. So it's just the banks that were affected by this, but who knows who else was affected. But they do have a responsibility to disclose if they were part of this Archegos incident. Now, I just want to wrap up with all the trades that I mentioned on my last video about the best trades to take for the Biden investment plan. Right? He's making a new stimulus, $2 trillion. He's going to build roads. He's going to build the internet again. He's going to build all sorts of stuff. He's going to give handouts to people. Apparently, that's a type of infrastructure. You know, it's like for, I don't know, to help, you know, social engineering or something like that. But $2 billion for about 500,000, you know, electric vehicle charging stations. So let's see how we go. So I said, it will probably going to go through 4,000, maybe not hold it, but looks like we've gone to 4,060 and we're holding it. Right? I don't think that we might even go to 4,100 before we go back to 4,000. That's my take on it. We'll see how it goes. And if you look at the minute chart, we had a monster weekend on the Thursday. Was that Thursday or Friday? No, that's Monday. No, sorry, that's Tuesday. That's before the weekend. This is the move. This is the pop before the long weekend. And it just went pop in the open. And then it just... No, I'll be honest. No, I look back. It's even more bullish, guys. Even more bullish. It broke 4,000. Yeah, in the early hours of Thursday morning. It broke 4,000, kept going up. You know, at the market open, popped up even more. Wait a minute, towards, we got a new week, pop, boom, again. And now we're up here at 40.60, more or less. Let's look at some of the stocks now that I said would go up. Here we go. Ooh, that's an interesting one. I'm happy with that one. So at the highs, still pushing the highs for the real estate index. So, you know, he says he's going to build increased housing. There you go. So there's a stock, but it's already at the highs, so not the best. Let's quickly go through this and wrap the video up, guys. Tesla. I mentioned Tesla, right? And we've had two strong candles since the last video. We were around 650. We're around 700 now. You know, it looks a little bit red, so I don't know about that. But it's gone up 4% in the last trading day. So I think that was a pretty damn good call. ARK Invest also up, but not significantly. I think they were already on the way up. And then we have iClean. This has gone down 1.5%, but I think we're about the same position as the green candle, which is when I made the call. So it went up, now it's gone back to break even. Let's look at a few more things. Q-Clean, basically exactly the same thing. The clean energy ETF. Copper, boom. Copper has gone up like bonkers. I said this was the one to look at because it wasn't so typically green energy, right? But green energy uses a lot of copper. And so we had, let's get the calculator out. I spoke on that little green arrow. It's gone up 4%. I mean, that's not much, but you know what, guys? This isn't Tesla. If it goes up 4%, it's huge. I'm just saying, it's huge. It's not for... Now, I understand that it's gone up a lot since, you know, in the last year, but normally copper does this all the time. It doesn't really go anywhere. So this is, in one day, this is still a very strong move. I think you can tell, you can visually agree with that. That was a good call. And you know what? It could keep going up. The call doesn't end here. The call goes up to there. So I give myself a good mark there if I can say so myself. I hope you guys give it too. If you do, hit the like button and even subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. I do these videos whenever I can. Silver, we've had a bullish. It's been bullish through support. I think it's pretty good. I think we're slightly on the up move. Now, gold. This is the one. I said look out for this, right? Because it's such a massive long-term support. It is an inflation hedge. If there is inflation, this is what it looks like, right? This is where you're going to see it pop up, right? If we think there's going to be inflation, it's going to rip up. Just like we thought there was going to be inflation through last year, and it just went boom. And then, you know, that's kind of died down. But now we are at major support. I'm very bullish on gold and gold stocks. I'd go almost as far as to recommend buying gold stocks at this point, because you're going to get them for so cheap. It's been such a long decline since July. We were 2,100 and now we're 1,700. We've dropped $400 and we're finding support that goes back to 2011. Trust me, I don't want to scroll back too much. But this is amazing. This is an amazing, sweet deal. Now, could it go back down further? I hope not, because I look like an idiot. But it definitely could. It definitely could. I think we'll probably go back to 1,800 before anything happens, before it goes back down again. So there you go, guys. And I think that's pretty much about it. And there's nothing happening in bonds. It's been dropping. Bonds have been dropping. You know, no one's picked up bonds at the moment, but we're also at support. Bonds and gold, silver at support. You know, these are more sort of alternative assets to stocks. I think they're just undervalued at the moment, and I think there could be some pickup. But you know what? Stocks, they're all going up. It's not really going to stop. There's just too much stimulus coming through. And finally, Bitcoin. Oh no. Yeah, US dollar, that's dropping. That's inflation fears coming in. And Bitcoin, I made one last prediction with Bitcoin. Come on. Oil, no prediction here. Bitcoin was supposed to break 60,000. That's my call for the Easter weekend. That didn't happen. We're still at 59,700. So I'm wrong. Technically speaking, I'm wrong, dead wrong. Because I called it very specifically, we'd break 60,000 by the end of the weekend. So it hasn't, but we are 300 away from 60,000. So I'm still on the right track. We want to. I feel it. The market feels it. Anyway, that's my video for today. Hope you got something out of it. I didn't try to rush this as much. I just wanted to, you know, just let you guys know what I'm seeing in the market right now. Now, if you enjoyed that video, hit the like button. That would be really cool and really helpful for my channel. Hit the subscribe too, and so you can see more videos. And yeah, hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you in the next video. See you guys. Bye.